Good morning and welcome to Yorkshire. We've come to somewhere very, very unique and special. We're just outside of Huddersfield and we're having a look at a little section of the former Meltham Branch which ran between Huddersfield and down towards the little village of Meltham. It's only 3.5 miles in length and it opened back in 1869 and it lasted until 1965, so it got, you know, almost 100 years use out of it. Passenger services, they finished in 1949 and then of course freight carried on until 65. We've come to look at Butternab Tunnel and that is 256 yards in length. But first I want to show you this cute little bridge. Isn't that absolutely lovely? It's so high up, so you've got the former track bed shooting over the top there. There are of course now private properties on top of there. So Butternab Tunnel, so of course that closed in 1965 along with the rest of the railway, and we're going to have an exclusive look around that and we're going to get to meet the owner of the tunnel and see what use it has today. Work commenced on the Meltham Branch in 1862 with much time being spent on route clearing, with trees and vegetation being taken to one side and disposed of in readiness for the first sod of the railway to be cut for the branch line in 1864 by Mr. Charles Brooke Jr. The original completion date for the line was June 1866, however there were a number of delays and this was indeed extended for completion until 1869. Work was however almost complete by the end of 1868. At the far end terminus of Meltham there was David Brown Engineering, and David Brown Engineering was a manufacturer of tractors, and these did in fact form a regular part of the freight workings down the Meltham Branch towards Huddersfield. So looking at the map, thanks to railmaponline.com, you can see Huddersfield in the northeast side of our map and Meltham and the lower southwesterly side of our map, and our Butternab Tunnel is right in the centre. Let's zoom in just a little bit to get a closer look at where it is. Between Beaumont Park and the village of Neverton, where there is indeed also another tunnel of a similar length, is our Butternab Tunnel. Let's get ourselves down there and visit this little piece of railway history. So this is Butternab Tunnel, 256 yards in length, and it opened in 1868 for goods traffic to begin with and later passenger services. Now passenger service only lasted until 1949, so that's a pretty good lifespan, wasn't it? Goods services however carried on until 1965. So you just have to absolutely love that little waterfall coming down into the pond area that's been made into the track bed. It's an absolutely stunning feature, and it's not the only feature because up there that used to be a metal tank, I believe. We'll find out later from the gentleman that owns it, and there is a tunnel, a cave system just out of sight in the picture that you're looking at now, I believe. Look at that portal, it's absolutely beautiful and very distinctive, and you've got the stonework of the head wall's central portion and it radiates out, you know, to that it's just lovely, and that blue brickwork on the inner section. Let's get a closer look at this stonework on the portal. It's in fantastic condition, isn't it? I love these single bore portals, these tunnels. So I think it's now time to go and have a look inside, isn't it, and have a look at this beautiful location that we've been allowed to have a look around, allowed to stay in. You know, anyone can stay in it, you can book on Airbnb. But the best part is yet to come in the later part of this film. We're going to get the landowner, he's going to come and talk to us about it, and he's even going to take us through the back door and have a look at what lies beyond. Let's go. So immediately on the right as you walk in the tunnel portal, we've got this amazing canvas look, and it's got the route all the way down of the Meltham Branch right down to its terminus down there. So it comes away from the main line. We're going to reach Butternab Tunnel, up 256 yards long, and this portal here, that is where we're stood in. Now it'd carry on further down where it'd be greeted with Netherton Tunnel at 333 yards long. There was also a station at Netherton, which I believe closed in 1949, and then we'd be met with Healy House Tunnel, which is only 30 yards long, but you know, it's still classed as a tunnel, and it would have carried on all the way down to Meltham where the line terminated. And right next to that map is this brilliant canvas again. Look, it's an old photo, we've still got the track down, and this is the actual tunnel that we're stood in now. I believe it is the other portal and not the portal that we're stood in. And directly opposite that there is indeed a canvas look of the portal. I believe this is the portal that we're in now. The portal that we slept in, we visited and we stayed in. There's a train coming out of there, look. Absolutely beautiful. Amongst that is other canvases, and it goes a long way back. You've got a nice little kitchen area. We're going to step underneath the bathroom. There's a beautiful canvas taken in winter time there, look. You can just make out the portal. It's just there, look. And the icy water dripping down the rock face. There's me, there's the bathroom, and there's a gorgeous kitchen area. So I'll take you upstairs now, and I don't say that to many people, and I'll show you what it's like up top. I can show you in front of you, look, we're looking out towards the portal now and onwards. It's hard to imagine that at one time there was indeed trains thundering right through till 1965, working through towards where the line no longer exists. But there is a little bridge I'm going to show you a little bit later on, and the bedroom itself, actually I'll just show you this. Look, there's a nice little canvas of the other portal. Look, this is the one that's bricked up on the Huddersfield side of the line. We're going to see if we can get towards that before we actually leave. So I'll take you to the upper echelons of the tunnel, and oh look, we're greeted by Amy. What are you doing there?
I'm just getting ready.
So have you ever straightened your and brushed your hair in a railway tunnel before?
Absolutely not.
There you go, so you've done that now. So this is the bedroom, look, and it's hard to think that probably, roughly, where I'm kneeling right now would probably be relatively the same height as the roof of a railway carriage, for example. It's bonkers to think. So if I turn you around, look, you can see exactly where we are and where the tunnel roof is. So the view back out, look, I mean, it's a lovely sunny evening now. It's around about 5:30 in the evening, and I can just pan it down to you. And again, it's just hard to think that, you know, tons and tons of heavy metal came pounding through this exact location around about 55 years ago. So what we've got coming next, we've got the actual tunnel owner. He's going to come down and talk to us about it a little bit, and a little bit about the history, and then it's the little bit of golden time. He's going to take us into the tunnel itself.
I love the fact I'm here straightening my hair in the middle of your video.
And it's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, and so is Amy as well. And we're going to actually go through the tunnel itself.
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Brilliant. All right, let's. I'll see you then. So we stood outside, and this is Steve, And this is the gentleman that has gone to all the trouble of converting this beautiful tunnel and its apartment. And, you know, how did the idea come about?
Well, it was actually, we inherited it. We moved in December. It was done as a two-storey studio, and what we decided to do was actually our joiner's idea to convert it into an Airbnb. But what we did was take it from the 60s style, 70s style, 80s style that was in there and convert it into a modern or fairly modern studio. And what we did was change all the inside. We made it sympathetic to the history, because I'm into history and model railways, and then we decided to share that with people. We did sort of think about doing other things like make it into a bar and do a model railway in there, but in the end we both love history, so we decided to put it into an Airbnb and make it sympathetic to its history. So you can see on there we've got the waterfall. This is actually a natural waterfall. What happened was, in the old days when the line was operational, there was actually an old iron tank on there, and what happened is the Victorian engineers channeled into all the waterfall and rainfall from the surrounding hills, a bit like the coal mines where they had the shafts and reinforced with all the wooden beams. They dug a channel out and they filtered all the water into that and filled it up the tank with water for the steam engines. And then what they used to do was then fill up the tenders with the waterfall for the engines. When they decided, the guy that actually made the studio originally, he basically knocked the tank out. You could probably see the remains on the edges there where it looked artificial, and basically the waterfall is from natural water rainfall, what the Victorian engineers channeled in. And then obviously they made the pond that was artificial with concrete lining, and then obviously when they converted everything, initially they did it as a music studio and an art studio, and then when the previous owners to us had it, didn't really do much with it, they just entertained the odd friends to it, and then obviously we came up with the idea of converting it to Airbnb and make it historically sympathetic to the old days.
So do you think this would have been the original route of this little stream? It would have cut across, you know, before the cutting came?
Yeah, so in the old days, it's all ancient woodland round here, so all the engineers did was actually channel all the natural waterfall. If you go up there, we had some people that done a lot of work for us. They were also mountaineers and rock climbers, and they said all there is at the bottom is a big channel, and basically all they've done is actually channel all the water that comes in naturally from the waterfall into that channel to create what we've got there today.
See, I think that's absolutely unique. In all the tunnels I've been in the last couple of years, I've never seen such, and it's so therapeutical as well when you're actually in the tunnel itself. It's beautiful. So now we've got a bit of a unique opportunity to go inside the actual tunnel, haven't we?
Yes, we have, yeah.
So Steve has kindly allowed us access into the back of the tunnel. He's going to come with us and we're going to light it up as best we can and get as close to the other portal as we can. Come on. So the first recess, look, is on the left hand side, and it's even got its like an actual number there, look, rather than the typical painted on number. So that's number 14, so we've got to imagine there are 14 of them. And the roof's in amazing condition. It is absolutely astounding. And we'll venture off to the right a little way. We've still got all the ballast on the floor, look. We've still got a bit of a drain just here. Let me get that out of the way. We've got a nice drain on that side. And the next recess is indeed on the right hand side. Now the recesses are indeed very close together, look. So this is again, it's got a decent, you know, number on the side, look, number 13. So that can't be the order of numbers, because if the first one was number 14 down there, there's one just there on the left. Look at that there. Absolutely brilliant. We'll definitely be getting some photos of this for you and add them in as we go along. got the cable carriers here as well. Look. 1, 2. There's another one, number 3, all the way across, and to another much wider recess than the other recesses. Look, we've even got a bit of a drainage channel going off down here, look, with assortments of wood which could have been from signalling in a previous life. So yeah, there's a proper drainage channel going all the way along. Look, on the other side there's no such thing. We've got again the little drains coming out of the wall there, look, but it's relatively dry. There's all manner of like blocks of wood laying around and occasional bits of stone. There's the drainage channel down there, look. Let's get the old death ray in there and light that up a bit. Here we go. So it's got a flow of water running through there, and another recess which is quite wet as well. Look at that. It's in remarkable condition. I love it in here. So at this point we are going round quite a curve, as you can see, and it's really dry right now. I can spin you around and have a little look. So there's the view looking back. You can see the curve again, look, out of sight from the other portal. Coming back round again. Let's light it up. Let's see if we can get some good photos of this right now. So we've got ourselves down to number 5, look, and look at the roof. It looks great, doesn't it? Look at all those hanging down. Absolutely astounding. Another recess on this side. We've still got the cable carriers all the way, ever present, all the way along. Let's get ourselves further up. We are approaching the other portal, and I do believe that last little bit is in fact flooded. The amount of refuges along here is absolutely, I've never seen so many. But the stonework behind them as well. Some beautiful colours, isn't there? We're still heavily ballasted on the floor, from one side to the other. The drainage channel is now absent. It was on this side, further back. And we draw ever closer, light that up to the other portal. So here we are, look at the other portal, and it is indeed flooded. There are 3 more recesses left. We've got one just there, one just there, and the very last one there. You can see that it is bricked up at the other end, and there used to be a door there, but that's been breeze blocked up. I'm not going to go any further because I'm not going to get my feet wet, and frankly I'm not really going to get anything else out of actually going down there. And plus I've got lovely white trainers on, so I really don't want to be dealing with that when I get back. But it's absolutely remarkable, isn't it, that this is just sat behind a beautiful accommodation that you can indeed rent out and stay in and sleep overnight. Now back on the eastern side now of the tunnel, down that cutting is the other portal that we walked up to where it was flooded, and although it looks a bit messy, I'm going to make an attempt to get to the other end. If I turn you about briefly, you'll see where the track bed did go, and you can actually walk along it, look. So I think we'll be coming back at a later date to do that. That looks quite picturesque down there. It's a nice path, so we'll be back for that. So if we get ourselves back over here, I'm going to try and make my way along this cutting without getting in a mess. It is quite squidgy underfoot, and you can see that it's not looking that great in the centre, but I think we might have a chance. You can see already we're down in rather a deep cutting. There's the view behind, look. So you can imagine the services, single track, services just whooshing through. The thundering sounds of the steam locomotives must have been amazing as they approached the tunnel portal that you probably can just see coming into view now. So here we are, look, same sort of stonework as the western portal, and it's got the blue brick line all the way around, and then we've got this brick that appears to be very, very old. And there is this grate just here, look, which is chucking out a hell of a lot of breeze, so this is obviously to let the air in and out, and also maybe if it floods, but you can't see it on camera, but down there it must be about a 3 or 4 foot drop to the track bed level. I mean, even this iron gate looks absolutely ancient, doesn't it? There's the view back, so it's quite a nice cutting. And the fact that the tunnel has a curve, and then the cutting also has this curve as it's on its way towards Huddersfield. Such an idyllic location at both portals, so peaceful, and I'm glad that it has some kind of use today. Obviously not a railway, but look at this. Beautiful bit of track bed still remains. We've been to both portals now. Brilliant. So that's Butternab Tunnel. We've been in the living accommodation, we've been to the other portal, and we've even had a nice walk through it. Thank you very much to the hosts, that is highly appreciated. If you want to come and stay here, it's available on Airbnb. Out of privacy for the owners, this is private land we're on, and it was all pre-arranged, the entire visit, so just, you know, think about that if you're gonna just turn up. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and comment below. What do you think to it?
It's amazing, yeah, definitely worth people coming, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. So from us, bye bye, see you soon.
See ya.
Bye.